divine power. The moment teaches believers that some battles are designed to reveal God's strength rather than human strategy. And I pulled from that one that old threats return sometimes even after God delivers. The devil never stops. And I was when I was studying the lesson, I was thinking about how the Israelites returned. You know, the Israelites, they forgot about the 10 plagues that the Lord had just done for them. And then they get to the Red Sea and they panic and they complain. But old threats can return to test and trust and build our faith. This demonstrates God's power and transition believers from relying on themselves to relying on God. And it's just like God could have used that when Pharaoh changed his mind that could have been when he went after the Israelites into the Red Sea. Pharaoh's army served to move the Israelites from fear to trust in God completely. Because when our backs get up against the wall and we don't know what we're going to do, we panic, we fearful. So for us today, we do the same thing. Sometimes threats return because God wants us to break ties with our past, meaning old life of slavery cannot return if we belong to God. Whatever has bound us, shackled us in chains in our past life, and God has delivered us from it, stay focused. We have to stay focused because the desperation of the situation forces surrender, a panic leading to spiritual stillness and confidence in God's plan rather than human capability. We have to trust Him and be still. Amen. So threats can return also to for God to gain the glory in our lives, His supreme power over our deliverance. Because sometimes we think we're the reason for our deliverance, and that's never the problem. That's never the case if you know the Lord. The battle belongs to the Lord, not us. So if we know Him, we have to give Him control and surrender to Him. So another thing, we're not going to trust somebody we know. We're not going to trust somebody we know. So we have to know Him for ourselves, to trust Him, to surrender to Him. And how do we do that? We have to spend time with God. You have to spend time and have that fellowship, praying to God, singing praises to Him. You know, early in the morning will I rise and give Him thanks. You know, so this is something that we have to, if we want to render, we have to know who we surrender to. I'm not going to surrender to somebody that I don't know. So if you know God, you're going to have that fellowship, that closeness with Him. And He will become the best thing that ever happened to you when you can walk with Him like that. And you will have no problem with surrendering to Him, but you have to know Him. So anybody else?
I was just going to add, they hadn't heard from God in decades. So God was just beginning to build their faith back up through Moses, because they were so far away from God, they didn't even know who He was. But the wonderful thing about God is He's long-suffering and He's patient. And even though they were afraid, they didn't have any faith. The only person that had the faith at the time was Moses. Because while Moses is standing there, God gonna tell him what to do with that stick, and then watch the miracle happen. You know, man, can you imagine that? In the ocean, Red Sea, walking in on dry land.
Amen.
Looking at an aquarium on both sides.
Yes.
To me, that's awesome.
Yes. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you guys. We're going to go on to question 3. And that one is, what command did Moses give the people when fear overwhelmed them? What command did Moses give the people when fear overwhelmed them? A, run into the wilderness. B, build a defense. C, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. And D, return to Egypt.
See, stand still.
Amen.
All right, that is the correct answer. Can someone share with me a little bit about why you chose that answer?